This book talk will be for fantasy books that are appropriate for 6th graders. What 6th graders will enjoy about fantasy books is that it gives them a chance to escape what they're going through in their everyday lives. Another thing about fantasy books is that it shows good people and evil people, and throughout the plot, these good and evil people will be making choices, and it'll often show a moral of the story and teach the reader what is right and what is wrong. Alana, the First Adventure by Tamara Pierce was the first fantasy book that I read when I was in middle school, and it made me love reading books in this genre. This book would be right at grade level for 6th graders, and it shows the beginning of Alana going off to train and become to be a knight. The only problem is that Alana is a girl, and girls are supposed to learn to be ladies. But Alana doesn't want to learn how to be proper. She wants to learn how to fight and defend others and become a knight. What I'm going to read you is a passage from the story where Alana first comes up with the plan on how she can become a knight. The boy hit the wall. I don't want to be a knight. I want to be a great sorcerer. I want to slay demons and walk with the gods. Do you think I want to be a lady? His sister asked. Walk slowly, Alana, she said primly. Sit still, Alana. Shoulders back, Alana. As if that's all I can do with myself. She paced to the floor. There has to be another way. The boy watched the girl. Tom and Alana of Trebond were twins, both with red hair and purple eyes. The only difference between them, as far as most people could tell, was the length of their hair. In face and body shape, dressed alike, they would have looked alike. Alana looked around and checked the hall for servants. Tomorrow he gives us the letters for the man who trains the pages and the people at the convent. You can imitate his writing, so you can do new letters, saying we're twin boys. You go to the convent. Say in the letter that you're to be a sorcerer. The daughters of the goddess are the ones who train young boys in magic, remember? When you're older, they'll send you to the priests, and I'll go to the palace and learn to be a knight. Can she keep her secret so she isn't caught? Can she befriend the prince and help him out? This is only the first book about Alana. If you love reading about her as much as I do, there are many more adventures. The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner is a lower level book for 6th graders. This book is about a teenage thief named Jen, and it boasts that he can steal anything. But one day he is caught stealing from the king, and that gets him sent to the king's prison. He might be stuck in there for a while, until one day the mage comes down to talk to him and offers him a deal. I'm going to read you a passage about the conversation he has with the mage. You could shorten the time without shortening your life, said the mage. I looked up at him. I'd lost the thread of the conversation. In the moment it took me to recover it, I realized that he was now nervous himself. I relaxed in my seat. Go on. I want you to steal something. I smiled. Do you want the king's seal? I can get it for you. If I were you, said the mage, I'd stop bragging about that. His voice was grated. My smile grew. The gold ring with the engraved ruby had been in his safekeeping when I had stolen it away. Losing it, I was sure, had badly damaged his standing at the king's court. He glanced over my shoulder at the curtained alcove, and then he got to the point. There's something I want you to steal. Do this for me, and I'll see that you don't go back to prison. Fail to do this for me, and I will still make sure that you don't go back to prison. Will Jen follow through and steal whatever it is that the mage wants, or will the mage have to follow through with his threat? We'll have to read to find out. Gossamer by Lois Lowry is another book that's at a little bit of a lower level. This book is about Littlest One, or Littlest, like the rest call her, and she is just learning how to gather thoughts and bestow dreams. She is in her first house with an older woman, and she's learning the ways of how to bestow. When a new boy moves into her house, she learns that this boy, John, has had a hard time with his past due to the abuse of his father. He was taken away from his mom. The old woman is John's caretaker until his mom will be able to get him back. The passage that I'm going to read to you will show when most ancient their leader, explains to the group that the synesthetes, or the ones that give nightmares, may be planning to do something bad. Most ancient called a meeting. The dream givers gathered early in the evening before dark fully fell, before they went out on their nightly work. A warning to you all, he announced. I dislike bringing this up. It is not something we like discussing, but I'm feeling some early warning signs, small tremors in the earth. I want you to be alert. A murmur rippled through the heap. Littlest one listened carefully. Around her she heard the sound. The dream givers were saying the word under their breath. Synesthetes, synesthetes. They're convening, most ancients said. I believe they have a victim identified. They've been on the prowl. But I want you all to be on the lookout for the signs of a pending group attack. I'm feeling a gathering starting, a horde. This happens only rarely. Over the years, occasionally, they have focused on one victim, someone particularly helpless. Then they mass and descend. Littlest is just learning the ways of bestowal. Will she be able to fight the synesthetes as they try to torture John with the nightmares? If to find out, we'll have to go find Gossamer. Artemis Fowl by Ian Colfer is right at grade level, and it's also available as a graphic novel. Artemis comes from generations of crime. He's a genius, a criminal mastermind, and a millionaire. And he's only 12. In this book, Artemis manages to capture a fairy, and he holds it for ransom. Is he going to be able to get that ransom and help his family, or is he just getting himself in some deep trouble? The Search for One Law by Tony DiDerlisi is a book that is above grade level. It's very interesting because of the pictures that it has along with the text. This book is about Eva 9, a 12-year-old girl that has never seen another human being. She is raised by a robot named Mother, and all she knows about the world above ground is from her holograms and a small scrap of cardboard that she has that has the phrase One-La. All of this will change on one day when a big creature starts to attack her home. I'm going to read you a passage about this. Mother, what's happening? What is the sanctuary telling you? Eva asked. She huddled close to the robot as another shock wave boomed overhead. Mother blinked out of her trance and addressed Eva. An intruder has breached the sanctuary's doors and is now descending to the main entrance. Come now, we have only minutes to get you to safety. With that, the robot spun around and wheeled out to the main hub. Eva hopped along behind her, slipping her jackvest on over her beige tunic. The sanctuary shook again. Will Eva be able to find her way to safety when she's amongst aliens and things she's never known before? Will she ever find another human being? Or will she find out what the phrase One-La means? To find all of this out, we'll have to read The Search for One-La. Fantasy books have so much to show you. There's so many books to read, places to visit, and adventures to have. Go ahead and find a fantasy book and read.